intricacies of Dharma are very difficult to understand. So you think about different situations in your personal life where it was very difficult to understand what is to be done and what is not to be done. You can take some instances also from the scripture where it was very difficult to understand what is to be done, what is not to be done. Okay? And also add on some principle in your life where it became very difficult for you to know, should I do it or I should not do it. Okay? So, everybody get into action. As I requested, have a notebook and a pen and keep thinking and start writing. What situation in your life it became impossible to understand what is to be done, what is not to be done. Take care, because you will forget. And I will discuss this in the class. And if you can remember from the scripture, something similar. Okay, great. Me. The volume coming on, speed coming on. Gota? Try ಮಾಡಿ. ಒಂದು speed. Try ಮಾಡಿ. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ. So thank you, Mataji, for singing Jai Radha Madhav. Very good. Always, whatever tune of Hare Krishna you want to take. Okay? It's always good to have a simple tune and maintain that tune. And when you're singing, just keep meditating on the Lord. It becomes very nice.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Nasmat kulochitam tata.
Nasmat kulochitam tata.
Karmaitat sadavigrahitam.
Karmaitat sadvigarhitam.
Vadoyat upadevanam.
Vadoyat upadevanam.
Arabdhaste akritai nasam.
Arabdaste akritainasam.
Yes, start.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Nasmat kulochitam tata karmaitat sadvigharhitam vadoyad upadevanam arabdaste akritainasam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. No, Asmat Kula, our family. Uchitam, befitting. Tata, my dear son. Karma, action. Eta, this. Sat, by authorities on religion. Vigarhitam, forbidden. Vadaha, the killing. Yat, which. Upadevanam, of the yakshas. Arabdaha, was undertaken. Te, by you. Akrita inisam, of those who are sinless. My dear son, the killing of the sinless yakshas which you have undertaken is not at all approved by authorities, and it does not befit our family, which is supposed to know the laws of religion and irreligion. Shidara. They both have come, but the two at work, we wanted. So we can talk to them 2 minutes. They will have to go for a job. Just talk to them 2 minutes. Okay. No need to wait. You talk to them. May not be. They may have to go for a job. Just take details. I'm not saying anything. Just take details. My dear son, it has been proved that you are very much affectionate towards your brother and are greatly aggrieved at his being killed by the yakshas. But just consider, for one yaksha's offense, you have killed many others who are innocent. Nayam margo hi sadhunam ऋषिकेशानुवर्तिनाम् यत् आत्मानं परागृह्य पशुवद्भूतवैशसम्. One should not accept the body as the self and thus, like the animals, kill the bodies of others. This is specially forbidden by saintly persons who follow the path of devotion service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes, Supriti Mataji, you are ready? Yes, start.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport.
Louder, little louder.
Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The words Sadhunam Rishikeshanuvartinam are very significant. Sadhu means a saintly person. But who is a saintly person? A saintly person is he who follows the path of rendering service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rishikesha. In the Narada Pancharatra, it is said, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. The process of rendering favorable service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead with one's senses is called bhakti or devotional service. Therefore, why should a person who is already engaged in the service of the Lord engage himself in personal sense gratification? Dhruva Maharaj is advised here by Lord Manu that since he is a pure servitor of the Lord, why should he unnecessarily engage like the animals in the bodily concept of life? An animal thinks that the body of another animal is his food. Therefore, in the bodily concept of life, one animal attacks another. A human being, especially one who is a devotee of the Lord, should not act like this. A sadhu, a saintly devotee, is not supposed to kill animals unnecessarily. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurubhe Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishraya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Nayam Margo hi sadhunam Rishikeshanuvartinam Yad Atmanam Paragrihya Pashuvad Bhuta Vaishasam. One should not accept the body of the self and thus, like animals, kill the bodies of others. This is specially forbidden by saintly persons who follow the path of devotion service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna, everybody. So, what I was developing here, look at this point. What is to be done, what is not to be done is extremely difficult, not so easy. Otherwise, why is it that Arjuna in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, very learned person, and who has even met Lord Shiva personally, got an Astra from him, who met even Indra, his father, son of Indra, very big personality. Maybe it's the Yogamaya of the Lord, but he saw himself in a situation, he doesn't know what is to be done, what is not to be done. He saw. Okay? True, a pure devotee never has a doubt what is to be done, what is not. Prabhupada never had a doubt. Therefore, he is a pure devotee. Never a doubt in his life. What is to be done, what is clear. It's clear like crystal. He doesn't have to ask anybody. You know what? He exactly knows what is to be done. That's amazing. Should I take sannyas? No, I should not. He exactly clear when he has to do what. But we are not in his position. Arjuna also knows what is to be done, what is. But Krishna put him in a bit of illusion, like we are. He put him, that illusion was not by Mahamaya, that was by Yogamaya. Because Mahamaya only touches crooks like us. Mahamaya cannot touch a pure devotee like Arjuna. So it is by Yogamaya. So Arjuna is bewildered, what is to be done, what is not to be done. And what is great about him is that at that moment, he approached an authority. What should I do? So beautiful. Similar situation you see of Vedavyasa. Now the Vedavyasa is not ordinary personality again. He is an incarnation, correct? Shaktavesh Avatara. Sometimes he Narayana himself. Interestingly, Jiva Goswami analyzes, in this case, he Narayana himself. But still, now again the Leela of the Lord, he wants to glorify his devotee Narada. He gets confused why he is not happy after writing Gita, after writing Mahabharata, after writing the Upanishads, after writing the 4 Vedas, after writing, Vedanta Sutra, all he has done, so many Puranas, a voluminous work. And after that, he didn't have dictaphone like Srila Prabhupada. He had to write with his hand. He has done that voluminous work by his own hand. And he's feeling, I'm not feeling satisfied. Okay? Interesting. Then take at the end of the Mahabharata war, Yudhishthira got confused what is to be done, what is not to be done. Right? He got confused. And he thought that it's better not to rule because I have done so much sin. No. I will better go to hell. I deserve to be punished from millions of years because so many people died in front of me just to enthrone me as a ruler. What is so special about me? Duryodhana was ruling, I think, quite good. There was no need to replace Duryodhana. And he went into illusion. So we have Yudhishthira here, we have Arjuna here, we have Vedavyasa here. And interesting thing is that all of them approach authority and got clarity what is to be done. Let us take more instances. The sons of Daksha. The sons of Daksha were actually, in this case, somebody higher went to give them an advice, but actually they were not seeking that. True? Sons of Daksha were quite happy what they are doing. They all came to the holy place, they are taking bath, they are all getting ready to become rulers and all those things, materialistic life, get into that. And here it is Narada lands up. And he says, my dear children, you really do not know the instructions of your father. And they start thinking because he meant real father, that is Krishna. Then you've not seen a place where there is a wheel which is constantly rotating, referred to Kala, death is coming. There is a place if you go, you never come back. Referring to Vaikuntha, you never come back. There is always so many things he speaks just in one shloka. And they are set in contemplation. They didn't ask for the advice, but they got an advice which they took very respectfully. There were thousands of them, 10,000 of them. After Narada went away, they discussed, they understood, they're making a mistake. And they all became Paramahamsas, went away back to God. Can you just imagine? And in fact, again, their brothers came to the same. Haryashwas and Sholashwas came to the place, 1,000 of them. Daksha is not ordinary personality, producing 1,000, 10,000 children. Therefore, he is Daksha. 1,000 of them came next time to the same holy place, take bath in the same holy river, and again doing tapasya, again to enter materialistic life, and again Narada Muni comes and again give them advice and to instruct them. That it's always good to follow the path of elder brothers. And they thought about that, and they thought actually what Narada is telling correct. There is no point in going for materialistic life. Let me proceed with spiritual path. Amazing. Okay. And then again Narada goes to instruct Daksha, their father. You know, nobody is asking, just like you go sit in the bus stand. Now somebody says, I want to talk to you, like what we do. The Prabhupada says, when I went to America, nobody invited me. Did anybody invite Prabhupada? No, he just went. And then he's instructing people. Then anybody asked, please come and instruct me? No. It's not like that. So here, we see the Daksha, Narada Muni took an initiative. Let me talk to Daksha also, it will be very nice. But Daksha was not in a condition to hear, rather cursed him, which he didn't care anyway. You will not stay in a place. What is the use? That curse is good only. You will not stay in a place more than 3 days. It's good. Anyway, so we see that Narada traveling and preaching, even not is Atithi, mostly uninvited. Now people even don't invite, he lands up. He goes to Kamsa also, in Krishna book we see so many times. My dear Kamsa. He always travels to give advice. He goes to meet Ravana also. And actually in that moment, the advice he's giving is very interesting because he's trying to accelerate the pastimes of the Lord, sweeten the pastimes of the Lord, and it's very difficult to understand. He does something, it comes, you don't know which of the 8 sons, because Kamsa had just returned the first son. So Narada Muni thought, it's like this, Krishna has to come quickly. So he says, what? How do you know which is 8? He said, what do you mean? If I put a circle, which you have to, depends on where you start, 8 will change. Oh, and he got confused. And then he started killing all the children. So similar, it's difficult to understand when Narada does like that. And similarly, but Narada only sweetens the pastimes of the Lord. He doesn't disturb the pastimes of the Lord because he's totally only under Yogamaya, which arranges the pastimes of the Lord. He sweetens. Similarly, he meets Ravana also. Now we see the situation, Narada Muni meets King Prachina Barishad. And here also the King Prachina Barishad is actually not seeking an advice, but Narada Muni lands up to give him an advice. Interesting. Prachina Barishad is doing yagnas, punya karma. Big, all over the earth he's doing. So much so, wherever you go, you can see, Havanakunda. So much yagnas he's doing. And here it is, he lands up. Who? Narada Muni. And Prachina Barishad receives him with great respect. And he says, my dear king, can't you see all these animals are waiting? When you die, they're going to pierce you. Because unnecessarily killing animals, whichever way you go, you're going to be punished for that. And then he starts eliminating him. We see Narada Muni also landing up, again without invitation. He lands up to instruct Mrigari. Did Mrigari invite Narada Muni? No. He lands up and changes the life of Mrigari. It changes the life. He lands up and Mrigari is actually in the beginning being disturbed, but he comes forward, said, can I give you a cheek? Very touched by his presence. And he says, my dear saint, First he is actually angry when he sees him because he is disturbing his hunting business, because all the animals run away where he was hiding and about to shoot. So Narada Muni comes to talk to him. The animals can feel presence of talking and they run away. So he's a bit angry what you have done. But then later Narada Muni, when he looks at Narada, his anger dissipates. That is the presence of Narada. And then he says, do you want a charity? Can I give you some skin? He offers something. And Narada Muni says, no, I don't want anything, but I want one charity. What? Don't kill animals half, you kill them full. So what is wrong in half, full? And the discussion starts. Trapped, finished. Narada Muni delivers him. Amazing personality, such a hero. In fact, he's a hero of the whole Puranas. He's traveling in and out of all the Puranas. There is a more instance when Narad Muni appears. Narad Muni appears for Nalakuvera Managriva. They didn't ask, he just appears. They didn't ask any discussion. He goes to talk to them. Therefore, Krishna says, when delivering them, he says, you're so fortunate to be seen by Narada, who's just traveling to deliver the whole universe. He's just traveling with bliss. Just like Srila Prabhupada was traveling around the world in a bliss, trying to save the conditioned soul with compassion. Narad Muni is also traveling with compassion. And what he sees, Narakuvera Managriva, totally lost in tamoguna, in sinful activities. And what does Narada do? Without asking, he intervenes. Actually, he says, my dear children, this is not a way to live. I curse you. He's cursing without asking. He just curse you. You become trees. And they fall at the feet of Narada, please forgive us. And all. Okay, don't worry. You will be in the courtyard of Krishna. Nanda Maharaj courtyard, you will be there and you get darshan of Krishna. And they are so blessed. And actually, just by being seen by Narada, they are blessed. So this is amazing actually, how we see that Narad Muni is entering every scene, every situation. And even instruct. Now in this shloka we see something more, now coming back to Daksha's situation. Swayambhava Manu was not invited. The Dhruva Maharaj was in a dilemma actually. Apparently he did not know he is doing a mistake. But it is a right of father and grandfather. It is generally said, 0 to 5, you should give to the child whatever the child wants. Fine? 5, if what your capacity allows. 5 to 15, you should start instructing the child. This is good, this is bad. Okay? Prabhupada said, not beat the child, but you can raise a stick. He will give you a stick if you do mistake. Okay? 15. 15 to 25, you be a friend of the personality. And 25, you give him freedom. Now what happens is that sometimes some person crosses 25 years, okay? But he is doing something which is very, very, very inappropriate, correct? So as a principle, we leave it. But what to do when something is very wrong? What is the they do, parents should tell, correct? Particularly child is doing sinful activity. Parents should say, they have a right to intervene. No, I am above 25. No, this is not supposed to be done. Very interesting analysis. Shidhara, so those two fans just making sound. So this is interesting to be done. So Swayambhava Manu is the grandfather of Dhruva, Uttanapada and Swayambhava Manu. Now Swayambhava Manu is intervening now. What is he doing at this time? You can do analysis. Actually Swayambhava Manu and Priyavrata, his other son, had a dispute, the interesting thing. Swayambhava Manu wanted to go for self-realization. And Priyavrata, even though his son, he never came back. Children are sent for education, they come back. But they need not come back in the Vedic time. So he did not come back on it. But Narada, he was sitting, ready to take sannyas. And Swayambhava Manu now is like Uttanapada has come to his situation of 50 years or whatever. Now, whatever, the stage of his life where, because their ages are funny. Manu's life is some lakhs of years. So, now he wants to go for self-realization, which is in Vedic time the most important element in life. Who wants to go? Swayambhava Manu. But Priyavrata is not coming back. So he is in a situation. He complains to Brahma and the Brahma lands up. Brahma goes to Priyavrata and says, go back, take up the throne, this is the order of Krishna and get married. And then later, Narad, Swayambhuva Manu is coming, probably is already also engaged in bhajana. If somebody can just analyze this, because that is another instance. There are two sons, Priyavrata Unutanapada, and the grandson here. He's already in his bhajana, in his self-realization, but his grandson is going wrong. So he takes a liberty, even just like we see in many situations, the sages coming in the middle of battle and instructing. Like Dronacharya was instructed by Devatas, please, stop using these weapons. You are so powerful, you can destroy the whole world. You have to stop it now. They come, they intervene. Sages and people listen. There is no point in intervening when somebody doesn't listen. No point. But Swayambhuva Manu takes a liberty. Please just analyze. As far as I guess, he's already in his bhajana. He's renounced his life, he's doing his bhajana. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, visiting holy places, doing bhajana. But now he intervenes, because if his grandson is doing something wrong, and intervenes and says, my dear grandson, my dear son, he addresses with affection, my dear son, what are you doing? And first thing he mentions here, this is against our kula. Previously the kulas, the families, the traditions were so great that a slight aberration will bring bad name to the family, and which was considered not to be right. I was, not to glorify some company, but I was studying at a particular time professional ethics. I used to teach in colleges. So in that I studied that actually the tradition is with particular companies like Tata in India. I do not know whether they follow it now, but in the books it is set like that. If you ask a bribe or something, will the Tatas do this? People get scared. They have some respect for themselves. They have created. Similarly, other companies have some tradition, some respect they have created. So they think 10 times to lose that respect in the society. Many companies in India have a great respect. They command respect when the members or the board of that company even meets the Prime Minister. He meets with great respect, so they maintain that respect. So similarly, Dhruva Maharaj family tradition also has great respect. So as Swayambhuva Manu, Uttanapada, they are great, they're all Rajarshis. They have that profile, they have that, they're commanding that respect. So my dear Dhruva, why are you spoiling that? Do you think in our family tradition we should act like this? So he has that. He's spoiling the name of the family. He can talk. And he said, just consider. He's telling, okay, fine. We all appreciate this fact that you're so affectionate to your brother. We do appreciate that. But just consider this, my dear child, my dear Prabhu. Do you think it is right what you're doing? You have killed millions of yakshas for fault of one yaksha. Do you think it is right for you to continue what you're doing? How beautifully it is going on. And Dhruva Maharaj also, always, actually the nature of every individual. That is the platform of preaching. Now when we go out to book distribution, nobody invites us. In fact, the book distribution has various levels. One level is people visit the temple, they say, I want the Bhagavad Gita. Presently we do that level. We search where are Gitas, we give them. My desire is not like this, at least. Now maybe a little engrossed in bringing money and constructing. I want everywhere in the temple. Prabhupada said our only business is book distribution. In the temple building, nothing else. Once they see anything else, they will not buy Prabhupada books. I know that. It took me so much struggle, I remember, when I was in a big temple, to put books inside the temple. People have no interest sometimes, or they think it is, who will buy books, correct? Because other things sell better. But we are not open a temple to do business. We are a temple to preach. Nobody should go out of the temple without proper book and a japamala. Correct? Otherwise, why build the temple? What is the use? Business, no? There are so many ways to eat. If eating is a question, better leave the temple and open a business and eat. There are many ways to make a living. And even animals know how to make a living. We are not opening temple to make a living. How to run. Prabhupada used to say always, if you get engrossed with this kind of consciousness, how money, then your preaching will become zero. You always think how to preach. That is always the best way. Correct? By Krishna's grace, we have this whole platform has been developed by preaching. Anyway, so let us not forget that. So, when you distribute books, there are 3 levels. One level is that presently, what is that? We are not even exhibiting books now, unfortunately. Display bhi nahi hai. Somebody comes, little is there, but not, we have to have a much better display. Somebody comes to temple and says, Gita hai kya? Gita, kidhar? And we go to service. That is one level. Not bad, at least we are giving a Gita to somebody who asked. Second level is that actually people visit and you are aggressively trying to sell Bhagavad Gita. Why don't you have Gita? You're coming to the temple, correct? At display, you have online courses there. We don't even have a display of that. Have a beautiful display. Please register for this course. This is, now preaching has started. First level, second level. Third level is that you go to the people who never come to temple. Like you travel in the trains, which I was selling books in the temple. True, bit of aggressive, bit of tricks, but enjoying, very blissful. But something happened and I went to the trains to distribute books. Because I was asking why not volunteers do that. Somebody said, why don't you go? So I went. That is the highest ecstasy. Because that's the most difficult thing. These people are not even interested. They will never come in. If you say, when they come, let me make 1,000 temples, people will come to temple, I'll sell. 90% people never visit the temple today. That's how the society, they're not interested. You go there, they're not interested. And you give them proper books. Amazing. In fact, the devotees who get addicted to that, you would make a book counter also, they'll not do that, because that ecstasy is much more. People are in their own, you are in people's field, correct? Here in the temple, you're in the way, keep silent, you don't want book, you go out, you are the king here. But there, they are the king. And the conversations that happen are totally different, funny. I am God, real God, and you cannot speak like in the temple. And I remember once I was in a temple, and I was on the book counter, somebody came to me, very nicely you are worshipping me. I said, why? I am God, no? And nicely Alankara you do. I was very irritated. I said, go and sit down. I am in a position of authority, correct? But when you're in a situation, say train or you're traveling somewhere, you have gone to somebody's house, you are in his house, correct? You cannot throw him out, he'll throw you out of the house, correct? You don't have that privilege to say that. But you are taking that becomes most wonderful way and most ecstatic. So every angle, every way, true. The first the temple opens, first our challenge will be how we can preach to all the visiting people. And preaching has to end with a proper book. Otherwise, your preaching was a waste. Prabhupada says always, what your 2-minute preaching will do, if they have a book in the hand, their life will change. So we should, that statement doesn't change. The statement always remains. Okay. So somehow the thing should be geared. At least he starts attending the course, he joins the course and start understanding. Okay. So this beautiful thing somehow is developed, then it will be very, very ecstatic. So people, the foundation of preaching is that are trying to develop, that every individual is open to suggestion. This is psychology. Every individual is actually, this is the foundation of preaching. Correct? Just like Mrigari. Now, it's the last thing you will think is the Mrigari is open to suggestion. Correct? But actually, somebody very sattvic, like the people coming to hear the class by Shukamuni, all the Paramahamsas without water they are hearing for 7 days. These are all Paramahamsas. That's a different life. Don't talk about that. But they are hearing with nectar of Bhagavad. Again, how can you even hear that? Parikshit Maharaj, he's also now coming to the same line. He was also having a question. He asked all the sages present, can you tell me that what is my duty now? He had a dilemma and he approached the sages and asked. And then somebody was not asked, but he came to tell the answer. Shukamuni, traveling with ecstasy, not even wearing clothes. He is so much oblivious to the external world. Just imagine, was loaded with love of Krishna and he not even probably forgot, I'm wearing clothes or not, And he is walking around in ecstasy and he lands up there and he is given a seat as the chief guest. And Parikshit Maharaj goes, please tell me, I'm about to die. What is my duty? Should I think about Krishna? Or what should I do? And see, again, a great personality, grandson of the Pandavas, is also in a dilemma. So don't think we will not be in dilemma. Okay? Now, another thing is that we have dilemma, but we don't ask. That is our weakness. Say, our instruction given by Srila Prabhupada is to chant Hare Krishna, but we are not able to properly chant. Isn't it true? All of us, do we ask? We don't ask. We don't care. So, moment we get an opportunity, and as the temple opens, you will have one privilege. In a month, at least 2-3, you will have sannyasis or proper disciples or senior devotees ISKCON visiting here, because there is facility. Correct? This will come in the devotees who keep traveling and preaching, particularly the sannyasis they don't take a responsibility in a temple. Sannyasis, they are supposed to travel in ISKCON. Sannyasis are meant for the training and mentoring the internal devotees of ISKCON. They keep traveling. One of the great advantage we will have, and we have a facility for them to stay also, correct? Special, they will come. And when you meet a senior devotee, the first thing you should be, how do I control this mind? How do I chant my rounds? Isn't it? These questions are there, but somehow we don't ask. So very important is that this facility will be help all the devotees also, not only the devotees in the temple, the congregation. Always this kind of festival will be there. Yes, that is another reason for the temple. Then why have a temple otherwise? Oh, the whole mind is temple will open, only manage the expenses. Yeah, but that should not 100% occupy our mind. Then we will just like running a restaurant or running a hotel, correct? You open a big hotel, big Kalyan Manta, what is, how do you run? Then you are totally on a material consciousness, correct? How this facility can be utilized, how people will come. And I was thinking the 20 rooms are over. We can keep, if possible, 20 devotees there. And anybody coming, yeah, I talk to them in the book counter. Interest is developed, crowd is there. You can go to room number 8. He goes in Tulu, somebody is talking to him. You can go to room number 4 in Gujarati, somebody is sitting there. And below the part, the auditorium, we make it like an exhibition. We have the various concepts of Bhagavad Gita displayed. How beautiful it will be. Think in a mood of preaching. Then this is a wonderful vehicle. If you just think it's the end, it's a fall down for everybody. It is not the end. It is the beginning, the means for how to deliver Krishna consciousness to people. Then you become excited. Then everything looks very beautiful. So I was talking about different platforms of preaching, and we see different situations with dilemma. Even Parikshit Maharaj had the dilemma, and we saw that dilemma was over. Yeah? So the intricacies of Dharma, what is to be done, are not easy. Even Draupadi, during the time of the Vastraharan, approached Bhishma. Okay? And she had a question. How can my husbands, do this to me? Correct? She had a question. Now, how can this person have a right on like this to drag me in the assembly and strip me? Correct? She was asking this question. And Bhishma said, actually, it is very difficult. Hey, Krishna, या तो क्लास नहीं लेने का, 8 o'clock आने का कंपल्सरी है. क्लास लो या ना लो आपका चॉइस है. नहीं है तो बंद कर दो, मेरे को इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. ठीक है, स्ट्रिक्ट है, शार्प 8 o'clock आने का. ये नहीं मुंह दिखाने के लिए 8:45, जरूरत नहीं. मैं नहीं तो ऑर्डर दे देगा, क्लास बंद कर देगा. So this is important. Discipline, if it is not there, no temple can function. Correct? कहीं भी जाओ, किसी भी मंदिर में जाओ, you have to attend the class of the president. यहाँ ही नहीं है, किसी भी मंदिर में. ये तो रूल है कि यहाँ ऑनलाइन प्रीचिंग हो गया, इसका ये मतलब नहीं the class people are there. My request to all language leaders is see to it that when I take the class, avoid any classes in any languages. Very strict. If they are doing, I'll stop the class itself. Okay? They should attend the class of the leader. At least they get oriented. Otherwise, they are doing. What do they use without Shravanam? People are speaking. What do they use? कोई फायदा नहीं. That's all sense gratification. If I am not listening to somebody, I have no right to speak to somebody. मेरे को अधिकार चला जाता है. It's a hypocrisy. I am expecting somebody to listen to me, but I will not listen to anybody. Stop it. Don't take class. जरूरत नहीं. You are on a platform of hypocrisy. We are expecting when I am taking class, लोग आने का, then why I don't attend class? है ना? I lose a right to take a class. I should not take a class. Okay, so now let us proceed in it. Advice, instruction. So what is to be done, what is not to be done? Draupadi was also very confused actually. What is to be done, what is not to be done? Very confused. Okay, so this is, and she asked. Interesting thing is Bhishma is a pure devotee. है ना? Bhishma says to her, actually very difficult to know what is right, what is wrong. And he stops there. There is a reason, because the internal energy of the Lord, Bhishma was previously told the previous night to keep silent. Something will happen tomorrow, keep silent. By Krishna's internal energy, this was arranged. Therefore, Bhishma was silent. Otherwise, in that assembly, we can find fault with Dronacharya, we can actually not find fault with Bhishma. He is a pure devotee, is never a mistake. It's always a perfect. But still, by arrangement of the Lord Yogamaya, apparently there was a mistake, and therefore Prabhupada says he wants to be punished. Similarly, like Dhruva Maharaj is a pure devotee, so apparently there is a mistake. Okay? Even Parikshit Maharaj, when you see that Parikshit Maharaj puts a dead snake on the neck of the king, when coming back he feels, I think I made a mistake. There is always to be done and not to be done. Okay, so we finished our thing. Analysis now. Now I wanted anybody, show me your copy first. Video that you actually wrote down. I wish I can also buy some books. People learn a habit of writing. Writing means, in a class, if you have a good point, you write it down. After a few days, you can even look at it. And if you're taking the class, it's very nice. You can look, point which touches the heart. Yes, field is open now. And anybody in personal life, or you saw in the Bhagavatam, somewhere you found that you did not know what is right or what is wrong. Hare Krishna. Everybody is silent. Hare Krishna. सब लोग तो चुप बैठे हैं.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद
Hare
प्रणाम.
Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Pranam Prabhuji.
Yesterday we discussed we should not be innocent, we should be intelligent. Okay? So tell me, by your intelligence, any situation in which you personally felt it was very difficult. When I have joined the temple, my mother said, you leave the temple, otherwise I commit suicide. It was very difficult. But I thought, she's simply telling. And it was correct. Nothing happened. Yes? Anybody else, you can tell me where you felt it is right or it is wrong? Or any instance in
Hare
the
Krishna Prabhuji,
forgot, scripture, some instance in the scripture.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes. Yes, Mataji.
See, initially when we first joined ISKCON, I mean as a congregation in the Arya Samaj Road, so many of my relatives, friends, they were all surprised. They said, you worship only Krishna. Why you all are same? You should worship everybody. Otherwise, you'll have so many sins in your life. So many people, they were actually making me fearful. But I didn't care. But so I thought this is the best method taking up Krishna consciousness. I never, instead of becoming, submissive or innocent, I became intelligent and I took up Krishna consciousness, Prabhuji.
Wonderful, wonderful. You became intelligent. Yes? And anybody
Thank you,
else?
Prabhuji.
Gunashi Mataji, yes. Do you know an instance where Shastra or personal life? Yes?
Yeah, Prabhuji, like Mataji said, the same thing, like, like before coming to Krishna consciousness, we were doing everything which we were not supposed to do, not following all the 4 principles which Prabhupada has given us. And every step, like following that, like coming to follow that was like a decisions where you had to hear from both sides. So we are hearing from authorities out here in ISKCON and trying to understand something new in life, and also hearing to the other people whom we were there throughout our life. So every step taking the decision was like it was like um, uh, going forward, it was like we had to take the right decision, and I would say we are following all the 4 principles now. So that itself was a major thing in our life, Prabhuji. And if from the like only thing what keeps us going is like, this is one life we have got, like Krishna in our life. We should not delay. We should take up the devotional service, like in step as immediately out there, and not go back to the life which into the 84 lakh species of life. So that is all hearing or shravanam from is what keeps us going, an association of devotees out there. And from the Shastras, I don't know whether this is applicable, Prabhuji, like one thing which I remember was of Bali Maharaj. Um, like, like he had the advice from his guru, but then he remembered his grandfather, Prahlad Maharaj, and then he took the right decisions of Dharma. Yeah, Prabhuji, that's, thank you.
Which you're talking about Bali Maharaj?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Bali Maharaj.
Can that be applicable?
Which is the instance where
his guru that Shukracharya
Yes.
said was directing him in the wrong way, but he remembered his grandfather Prahlad Maharaj, and then he took the right decision.
Yeah, it was definitely a dilemma for him. In fact, interestingly, Bhagavatam says he was silent for some time because this was a major decision he was making, he was thinking. And but internally we see he was so polite. You see, he doesn't use any rash words for Shukracharya. He's very polite. He said, my dear spiritual master, how can I lie? I am a grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. Very beautiful. Yes, Neeraja Mataji, you have an instance from scripture or from, yes?
Both, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji,
Loudly, yeah.
Prabhuji, regarding the do's and don'ts, we have dilemma daily in our day-to-day life, as well as one I can quote it from the scripture also, Prabhuji. Like in our day-to-day life, we don't know like what to do, which is correct or not. Like as two Mataji told regarding the demigods, the worship of demigods. Yeah, we were like that, and now we have determined to pray only Krishna and treat only him as the supreme personality of Godhead. So that dilemma has gone now. And in some of the things, we are not able to differentiate between the sins and the offenses, Prabhuji. Like sins, okay, no one will do. We can differentiate between sins, but offenses, we don't know what will be the offense and what is not offense. That we are not able to decide, Prabhuji. And as you told yesterday, that intelligence and the innocence. In some things, we'll be so intelligent in taking decisions in the right way, but in some things, we'll be so innocent and ignorant. We'll not be knowing what to do, Prabhuji. And as per Shastras, I can give you the instance of Kaikai, who was in dilemma when Mantara advised her to send Rama to the forest. She was liking Rama so much, and how could I do that? She was thinking about that also. She was in a very much dilemma, Prabhuji, when Mantara told her to send Rama and give throne to her son. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sorry, I had to go out. Can somebody, yeah, thank you. Okay, make it very short. Minal, Hare Krishna. Yes, Minal Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I was remembering Brahmana's wife who went out of the way to serve Krishna. Yeah.
Definitely they
So
will
that
be.
yeah, face it in our life daily. Hare Krishna. Even our kids, to what extent we can ask them to take it up, Prabhuji. It's really sad to see them in this situation, Prabhuji. Sometimes, very difficult to see them here. They're not taking up. So how can we force them, It's such a wonderful thing. And that's the only thing I feel we can give them. It's sad to see them not to take it up.
Whom? The children's?
Kids, yeah.
Hare
The time
Krishna,
is running
Hare.
out. Yeah.
No, you can see Mataji, the power of prayers. Never forget, the prayers are very powerful. Draupadi made Krishna appear, helper, prayer. We saw so many situations. We had one class, power of prayers. Right? So prayers, we can always pray for somebody. Right?
Yes.
And we just had a discussion that Dhruv Maharaj was doing tapasya in the forest, but the mother was constantly praying for him.
Yeah.
That is even greater than praying for yourself, praying for somebody, isn't it?
Yes.
So she was also great, and she went back to Godhead before him. When he said, Dhruv Maharaj, what about a mother? He says, she died already. Okay? So it is good to pray for others. You can pray for them. You can pray for the family members, and that shows good Krishna consciousness. You pray.
Yes.
You pray for other devotees. Krishna, please help him, make him a nice devotee. Please make him go back to Godhead. That's wonderful. Good consciousness. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everybody. Chalo. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Chalo. Hare Krishna. Now, how many days remaining? Today, what is the date? We have, today is 28th, and 28th you take 60, 90 and reduce 9, 81. So 81, 82 days only remaining for temple inauguration. So book your tickets if you have not still done. Number one. Number two, many of you are doing some seva for the temple. That's the time to complete it. You can understand we will be tight now. As yesterday I was meeting one person and we had a big laughter in his office because he told my heart's thing. He was telling his brother, he owns a big jewelry shops, very rich person. But when he had Griha Pravesha, he did not have money to feed his guests. And I was laughing. I said, I am in the same situation. The whole world is going to come here. At least never before we had such a big gathering. And I'm thinking how I'm going to feed them. So it's a testing situation. But Krishna has brought us till this situation. Definitely, Krishna will not leave us here. We are praying to Krishna, but at least those of you who have committed some sevas, that's the time you can complete it. Somebody committed a membership and all, if you can, complete it before the inauguration to help us. And some people are still thinking that I wanted to do some seva, but previous situation didn't allow. Now still opportunity is there. Because millions of people, when they take benefit of the temple, we also get some credit, some blessing we get. So take that opportunity. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.
Bhagavatam ki.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sadhu Pranam.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी धन्यवाद प्रभु जी